you want to break into the business world and have some foundational structure on which to stand, it seems that more and more Americans are coming up with the answer by becoming a franchise owner. Just consider these national statistics from Statista. In 2023, it was estimated that there would be approximately 805,500 franchise establishments across America. The projected economic output of franchises was expected to stand at roughly $860 billion in 2023. The estimated number of employees expected to work at these establishments last year stood at 8.7 million. The largest bottom line in the franchising industry has consistently been quick service restaurants, followed by with retail, food products, and service businesses, rounding out the top few. That's good news for my friend Aaron Harper. He's the founder and CEO of Rolling Suds, where they believe in building and sustaining relationships. He's a visionary entrepreneur and franchise expert with a burning passion to simplify the path to business ownership for countless of individuals. His pursuit into franchising began as an earnest attempt to empower others on their entrepreneurial journey. He embarked on this mission following a successful tenure with Patch Boys, where he accomplished a remarkable feat of opening over 400 territories in just over a few years. He's fueled by a relentless passion to make a difference in the lives of other entrepreneurs, and Harper joined me this week to discuss his pathway towards prosperity in business, how he's helping others to do the same in the franchising arena, and how his business philosophy has evolved over the years. So my friends, get a notebook and a pen and a pencil ready, because Harper provided some insightful insights that any entrepreneur ought to hear if they want to have sustainable success in business. So without further delay, I'm Kevin McShann. Let's have this conversation. Absolutely. So, Aaron, if you're ready, I'll take a moment to welcome you to the program, my friend. And I'm super excited to learn how you're making a difference in the world of franchising, my friend. Great to see you, and happy Tennessee Wednesday to you, my friend.
Thank you so much. Yeah, no, I appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely. Now, Aaron, I know you're the CEO of a company called Rolling Suds, my friend, and your mission in life in addition to running your own company, is helping to simplify the pathway to business ownership for other entrepreneurs. So I'm wondering if we can start our conversation by you telling me what makes you so fabulous, my friend, and why you love what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So I love helping people become business owners. Franchising provides a path for that. Kind of a bridge to entrepreneurship without having to create all the systems on your own. You can buy into a franchise that has them and basically get to, profitability or revenue generation and skip a lot of steps. And so I love working with entrepreneurs, working with people who want to become entrepreneurs, and giving them that path to get there. And so yeah, that's I mean, in a nutshell, what franchising does and why I like doing it.
Absolutely. Now, Aaron, tell me why it was important for you to take a leap of faith and believe in yourself as a business owner and make the leap to be your own boss. Why was that important to you? And tell me about the experience as a whole, my friend.
Yeah, so I've worked for other franchisors in the past. I helped build the second largest platform company of residential and commercial home services brands. So, um, and I had been doing this for other people for years, adding franchisees to systems, helping them get set up, and helping them become, profitable and successful. And I had an opportunity to continue working at that company, and they were going to pay me really well to go take on a business that I could franchise for them, basically, and start it from scratch. It was a storage concept they wanted me to franchise and run. And I thought to myself, well, wait a minute, I can do this on my own. I can build a team, I could raise capital, I could find a business that I believe in, and I could franchise that business. And I have seen the franchise world, and I've seen the dark side of the franchise world. It was really important to me to be able to own the company so that I could do it the right way, in the way that I know it needs to be done, and the systems that need to be built properly. And so I met the founders of a 33-year-old power washing business in Philadelphia, and partnered with them, acquired the franchise rights about a year ago, and became the franchisor. And we now have 121 locations nationwide.
Well, that's certainly business expansion at its finest, my friend. And I know you're a big believer in the concept of relentless drive, my friend. So, what does having relentless drive mean to you in business and in life as well? What does that concept mean to you?
I think really it boils down to grit and being willing to do whatever it takes to accomplish the goal at hand. I won't lose. If I set a goal for something, I will do anything I possibly can to achieve the goal. And it is relentless, and it is a drive. Yeah, I think it just comes down to grit. So if I set a goal for something, I'm going to do it no matter what. There's nothing that's going to get, and whatever gets in the way of me accomplishing the goal, I'm going to overcome it or go around it, or however I need to kind of achieve the goal. And the relentless drive is just not giving up no matter what. And I think that comes down to grit.
Yeah, absolutely. And Aaron, as you know a thing or two about building and expanding businesses and franchises. I know that you were a part of expanding to over 400 territories in your last job. So tell me, what do you think is the key to the whole idea of business expansion and doing it successfully, my friend?
Yeah, so I talk a lot about responsible franchising. So there's a lot of irresponsible franchising out there, and I talk a lot about what does it mean to be responsible? And I believe you can scale a franchise system rapidly, but also responsibly if you have the right systems in place. So to responsibly franchise, you need to know exactly how much money it's going to cost to get one location open and to a profitable situation. You need to choose the right people and the right business owners to come in and expand into those markets that you go into. You need to set the right expectations with franchisees and tell them exactly what kind of challenges they might have with potential upsides and downsides. And that's, and then you need to grow sustainably. So you need to know, okay, I'm not going to add more units than I can feasibly open. And so for me, like, it's all about doing the right thing. And when I mean the right thing, it's right by the franchisee, because the franchisee is buying into my system. They're paying us up, a significant amount of upfront capital, and they're going to pay a royalty on an ongoing basis. So it's me and my team's duty to support them And we have a team of 17 people, including me and the founders. And it's a big staff relative to how long we've been franchising, which is really only about 12 months.
And I know that you have a unique sort of system in place to help those that buy into your franchise really get and maintain leads. So I'm wondering if you can tell me about it.
Yeah, so we have a very robust onboarding strategy for franchisees. So we have a VP of onboarding that onboards the franchisees, gets them set up with all of their emails, their logins, the supplier relationships, vendor partners. We build the truck for them. We deliver it to wherever they are in the country. We source the vehicles. We help them find a location with site selection. There's marketing support. We turn leads on for franchisees before they go to training. So I've built all the infrastructure that when a franchisee buys in, they're provided with all these resources that allow them to get up and running much faster than if they had to go figure that out all on their own.
Yeah, absolutely. And Aaron, I want to ask you about adaptability and having a solution-driven mindset and really having a commitment to success. What does all that mean to you in a nutshell, my friend?
Yeah. So, I mean, just having a commitment to success is just making sure that like what we're doing and what we're executing on is getting and moving the business forward. And so, and for me, that looks like hiring the right people who are better at me than the things that I hire them for, and then trusting them to do the things that I hired them to do, and removing myself from the process and the decision making process. And I think that's where a lot of business owners get stuck is they try to do all the things. And in order to grow and scale a big business, you have to hire people who are going to move the needle forward. And so for me, with the adaptability and all of that and kind of being nimble, it's about finding the right people.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Aaron, business is all about relationships. And I know that the slogan for your company is that this is a relationship. So I would be remiss if I didn't ask you, what are the great tenets of building great business relationships?
Yeah, so we do it based on the 3 R's of Rolling Suds: reputation, relationships, and reliability. And so the reason that we've developed such good relationships nationwide, both on the franchise level and also our franchisees with their customers, is because we're reliable. We say we're going to do something, we do it. We show up on time, we deliver. If we made a mistake, we own it, we fix it. And our mission statement is this is a relationship, because I believe that enriching lives are built on relationships, truly, both business and also life. There was a study that was done as like the longest study on happiness that has ever excuse me come out, and basically the key indicator of like how happy someone was how meaningful and deep their relationships were in their lives. And so it's really important for me and my franchisees and my team members and their team, franchisees team members, like, to understand that this is a relationship and we are trying to build something much larger than just a power washing company.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Aaron, I also wanted to ask you about the importance of remaining agile in business and flexible enough so that you can take advantage of opportunities or capitalize on possibilities to grow a business when it comes, my friend. So tell me the importance of remaining agile in business, and what does it mean to you to be nimble in business as well?
So I think you need to be able to adapt to what your customers need. And for us, like as on the franchisor side, like our franchisees are our customers. They pay us a royalty for services. We provide them the services, and when they need new services, we need to be agile and adapt. I think it also goes into taking feedback and be willing to implement that feedback. And for me, it's how quickly can I make decisions? Because the quicker I can make a decision, the quicker my team can start acting in accordance with that decision and start executing. And so listening and then making quick decisions that are informed, but to keep the business moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Aaron, I'm also wondering your thoughts on, for anyone that wants to enter the realm of being a franchise owner, what are some specific questions they should ask themselves before taking such a leap, my friend?
So they need to ask themselves, how am I at following systems? How am I at following direction? And also, if that person has had a job, how well has that person done in the jobs that they've worked at? Because typically, when you have a good job, they give you the training manual, they teach you the playbook, then you execute on it. And that's really what you're buying in a franchise, except you're buying full ownership of that business. And so, can I follow a system, and how well can I follow a system? Do I like being part of a team? Because there are other franchisees who are doing the same thing as you across the country at the same exact time. And so there's a real team focused element of franchising. But I would say really like a franchise is not for everyone. If someone wants to create systems and go do it on their own, it makes no sense to buy a franchise. It does, because that's ultimately what they're paying us for, is to create these systems and develop and deliver them for it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and then also like, do I have the risk tolerance to deploy capital and scale a business? And the other question I would say is, am I willing to go all in on this? Am I willing to leave whatever it is I'm doing full time now to go all in on the business? And my recommendation is if they're not, don't start a business, because part time business is going to get part time results. I'm particularly not interested in that, and I don't think anyone should be either.
Yeah, and Aaron, I'm also wondering your thoughts on, when we look at the way business works today, how much of a social responsibility do you think business owners should have when it comes to sort of moving the needle of societal progress forward? So I guess what I'm asking is, how big of a role do you think entrepreneurs should take in sort of planting their flag of difference and moving society forward? What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I mean, I think when one has a business that they own, I would argue that they are potentially moving society forward maybe a little bit further than someone who is an employee of a certain business. Not necessarily because an employee doesn't do as much. It's just in a business, there's a bunch of different moving pieces. And if there's 300 employees at a business, and that business is providing a solution at scale with 300 employees, it's different than one person who maybe is an individual contributor and doesn't manage a team and they do sales. Like, yeah, and I was that was what I was doing before I started a business. I just didn't feel like I was having as much of an impact to move society forward. And having my own business now has allowed me a larger opportunity to do that.
Absolutely. And Aaron, how do you think business owners can stay relevant and visible if their business is in a crowded space with a lot of competition?
I mean, you need a unique selling proposition. So I think as a business owner, you have to ask yourself, what is it that I have that my competitors don't have? And how can I deliver on this product or service that I have in a way that other competitors can't? And if a business owner or a salesperson at the business does not know what that unique selling proposition is, then there's probably an issue. Either there's not a unique selling proposition and you're just kind of like one of many, or we need to figure out what it is and how to deliver on that, the expectation of that. And so I think it's really just, what is your value proposition? How are you going to stand out in the market? What is it that you do that others don't do? And how do we amplify that in conversations?
Yeah, absolutely. You talk about amplifying conversations, Aaron, and I'll share just a little bit about myself. So, Aaron, I was
Please.
I was born with what's called spastic quadriplegia cerebral palsy simply means that I don't have enough oxygen in my legs to walk normally. So outside of this podcast, I talk to organizations about amplifying an inclusive work culture for folks with disabilities and creating more diversity in business. And I think small businesses and franchises are a great way for folks like me who have disabilities to sort of launch into the world. So I'm curious to get your perspective on how we can create more diversity in business and opportunities for folks who look like me.
Um, I think there's got to be some type of like government assistance on that, and maybe a program um, that you can join that sets or people with disabilities can join that gives them the tools they need to find the right business. So almost an organization that prepares individuals for getting involved in business, and then businesses that are willing to opt into that type of organization to find team members or people that they can train that might have disabilities as well. Um, that's just an idea, but to be honest with you, I haven't given a lot of thought to it. So this is just kind of off the top of my head.
Yeah, so let's talk about it for just a second. Do you think? Let me phrase the question a different way. Then, do you think more education on the benefits of hiring folks with disabilities and opening up to a more diverse workforce would help small business owners and franchisees like yourself?
Yeah, I think always education and content can add value and open and broaden people's horizons. Absolutely.
Yeah, and to that point, I'm curious to ask you, Aaron, about certain current trends and challenges that you're seeing within the industry you work with every day, and what excites you the most about the future of your industry, my friend?
A lot of the challenges I see just industry wide within franchising is there are a lot of people who will sell the opportunity that a lot of different franchisors or franchise salespeople will sell the opportunity as a either passive or semi-passive business that you don't have to have as much involvement in without any kind of backing that is accurate. And that's just not a good thing to do, right? Because someone's paying us a lot of money and they expect us to deliver on our promises.
Yeah,
And if the promises
yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
and if the promise is from a franchisor is you can run the business by, hiring a manager and working 10 hours a week, like, and that's not being able to be delivered, well, we now have people that are effectively lying in our industry. And so what I'm most excited about, which the second question was, um, the opportunity to potentially change that. So setting the right expectations, talking about responsible franchising, and bringing in people in my generation of the franchise industry to come in and kind of like reset standards.
Yeah, absolutely. And to that point, Aaron, what do you think it means to be resilient in business?
Yeah, I mean, just not giving up and being willing to adapt and be nimble and just understanding the market trends and what needs to change and how and why, and doing it before it happens, and really just having some serious level of resiliency.
Absolutely. And the work that you do, Aaron, I'm sure that delegation is a big part of your success in certain areas of your business. So tell me, what do you think makes an effective delegator when you run a business?
I think ultimately you hire people who you feel can do the job for the role that the function you're trying to fill for the business. You give them the tools they need to be successful. You oversee them executing on those tools, and then you release control. And you say, you know, and then they may come to you and say, hey, I need you to solve this problem. I need you to solve this problem. I need you to solve this problem. But really, the best delegators say, what would you do? You, what are you, what would you do in this situation to the employee? Instead of solving the problem, giving them the opportunity to solve the problem with the knowledge that they have. And then, it gets to a point where it's no longer the business owner's problems. It's the team members' problems that they need to figure out how to solve. And then that's really where the growth happens, because the team members are now challenged in a way that allows them to become better at the thing that they're doing.
And do you think if you're a good business delegator, that also uh, gives you more leadership skills to allow you to follow, or for your employees to follow your lead? So I guess what I'm asking is, what makes a great business leader in your opinion?
Yeah, I think being able to listen, being able to understand, being able to change when necessary, being able to adapt, and really create a vision that the people who work for you, their vision can fit inside, and create a kind of a long-term vision that people can grow into. And so I think leaders uh, who provide that level of opportunity for the people that work for them are stand out amongst the rest.
Yeah, and how do you think the COVID-19 pandemic has really affected the way we do business now that we're sort of emerging from it? But how do you think it's affected the way we do business and the way we move forward as well?
Yeah, so I I have my entire team is virtual all across the country in multiple states, and we're a virtual company. And I don't see any reason at this point to not be a virtual company. And I don't know that that would have been something that people would have thought possible prior to COVID-19. It works great for us, and I can find really, really good employees because they're not restricted to a certain area.
Yeah, it provides more flexibility and choice, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And Aaron, tell me, today's Valentine's Day, my friend. So, are you a big proponent of Valentine's Day? Do you love it? Do you hate it? What's your stance on Valentine's Day, my friend?
I'm ending work early tonight. I went and got flowers for my wife, and I have a card that I'm about to write.
Well, it's another opportunity to tell women why they're so important in our lives, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely. And Aaron, I know you're also a dad, my friend. So tell me about the most important job you'll ever have and why it's so important to you, my friend. Why do you love being a dad?
Yeah, so being a father is the most important job. I mean, we talk about leadership. I mean, I'm every action I take today, I'm setting an example for my kids as they grow up. And so their understanding of what business is and what, leadership looks like and work and passion is going to come from what I'm doing in my job on a day-to-day basis. So they can see what professional life looks like. I will always bring them into discussions and thoughts that I'm having as they get older. I mean, they're a little young now. I've got a son who's almost 3 and a daughter who's 15 months. So they're not, they just want me to play with them now. But like when they're 5, 10 years old, like they'll be able to see me growing and scaling businesses.
Yeah, absolutely. Start them young, and it's about creating good habits, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I've got two questions left for you. And the first has to do with, how do you define commitment, my friend? And what does the word commitment mean to you?
Yeah. I mean, commitment means to me, doing what you say you're going to do. If you say you're going to do all these things and you don't do them, it's hard to say that you have levels of commitment that are reliable. Whereas the more I actually execute on the things and the promises that I deliver, the the better I can, the more commitment I can show that I have, the more committed I am to the things that I said I was going to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And Aaron, my final question has to do with your legacy, my friend. And how do you want your legacy to be defined?
I want to enrich the lives of as many people as I possibly can. I would like to change and enrich the lives of as many people as I possibly can. I would like to have lots of people say, due to the things that Aaron, his team, his businesses have created, these results have come from my life, these outcomes, and I'd like to particularly see that within my family, and then see 18 years from now my son and my daughter having the same values. So absolutely.
Yeah, it's all about creating a path that others want to follow, right? That's what
Right.
life is all about, right?
Right.
Absolutely. And Aaron, tell me finally, if people want to get connected with you, my friend, what's the best way they can do that?
So follow me on Twitter. It's my handle's Aaron Harper CEO. Aaron AARONHARPER CEO. And if anyone's interested in Rolling Suds as an opportunity, franchise brand for them, go to rollingsudsfranchise.com and request information. Thank you so much for having me on.
Absolutely, my friend. I want to thank you for your work in entrepreneurship and moving the needle of progress forward and giving business owners a pathway to ownership, my friend. Your work in the space and time on my behalf is most appreciated, and I want to thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.